Hare Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Jaya Radha Madhava Radhe, Madhava Shri Radhe, Madhava Radhe, Madhava Shri Radhe. Jaya Prabhupada, Jaya Prabhupada, Prabhupada, Srila Prabhupada. In the beginning, we usually read a little from Prabhupada's book, Prabhupada's biography. But the love and conflict was there. Prabhupada loved his disciples. He also knew they were not yet fully mature. His movement already had great potency in stature in the world, and yet it had many enemies. He was inclined now always protect his devotees, his movement, and all living entities, even the animals. So when his most intimate and faithful disciples pleaded that they couldn't go on without him, he had turned from show how to die, agreeing to stay with them and preach. But at what point would they ever be willing to let him go? At what point could he say that the world of Maya and the enemies of Krishna were all gone? At what point would his disciples become fully mature? In following his decision to stay, Prabhupada turned himself over to his disciples, allowing them to care for him completely. Those who took part recalled that never before had Srila Prabhupada allowed such intimate dealings between himself and his disciples. The only comparison was in New York in 1966, when he had been very intimate in dealing with the first persons to join him, persons who had known nothing of the etiquette or approaching a spiritual master, but who are present now and who had also been present then, said that these days were even more intimate. Prabhupada ki. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Narayanam Namaskrityam Naram Chaiva Narottamam Devim Saraswatim Vyasam Tato Jaya Mudirayet Nashta Prayesha Bhadreshu Nityam Bhagavata Sevaya Bhagavati Uttama Shloke Bhaktir Bhavati Naishtiki. We are reading from the Srimad Bhagavatam, Canto 7, Chapter 3, Text. I believe 30. I think we should read. Yesterday, they will just double check with me the verse, so. Yes. I think it's supposed to be 31. Yes. 31. Okay, I can read any, so, but just let me know for sure. 31. 7, 3, 31. Tvameva kalo nimisho jananam Tvameva kalo nimisho jananam Ayurlavadya vayavakshinoshi Kutastatma paramasya jamahams Kutastatma paramasya jamahams Tvam jiva lokasya cha jivatma Tvam jiva lokasya cha jivatma Tvameva kalo nimiso jananam Ayurlavadya vayavakshinoshi Kutastatma paramasya jamahams Tvam jiva lokasya cha jivatma Tvameva kalo nimisho janana Ayurvadyavanaishinoshi Kutastatma paramesya jamahams Tam jivalokasya tam jivalotma Tvameva kalo nimisho jananam Ayor lavadhyavayavakshinoshi Kutastatma paramesya jamahams Tvam jivalokasya cha jivalatma Tvameva kalo nimisho jananam Ayor lavadhyavayakshinoshi Kutastatma paramesya jamahams Tvam jivalokasya cha jivatma. Vaishnavis, please. Tvam yo eva indeed kalach unlimited time animishach unblinking jananam of all living entities ayu the duration of life lava adi consisting of seconds moments minutes and hours avayavai by different parts Ksinoshi reduce Tasta without being affected by anything. Atma the super soul. Paramesti the supreme lord. Aja the unborn. Mahan the great. Tvam you. Jivalokasya of this material world. Cha also. Jiva the cause of life. Atma the super soul. Translation by His Divine Grace and High Children of Bhaktivedanta Swami Shurapada Ki. O my Lord, your Lordship is eternally awake, seeing everything that happens. As eternal time, you reduced the duration of life for all living entities through your different parts, such as moments, seconds, minutes, and hours. Nonetheless, you are unchanged, residing on one place as the Super Soul, Witness, and Supreme Lord, the birthless, all-pervading controller who is the cause of life for all living entities. Purport. In this verse, the word Kutastha is very important. Although the Supreme Personality of Godhead is situated everywhere, He is the central unchanging point. Ishvara Sarva Bhutanam Hriddasharjuna Tishtati. The Lord is situated in full in the core of everyone's heart. As indicated in the Upanishads by the word Ekatvam, although There are millions and millions of living entities. The Lord is situated as the super soul in every one of them. Nonetheless, He is one in many. As stated in the Brahma Samhita, Advaitamatchutamanadim He has many forms, yet they are Advaitam, one and unchanging. Since the Lord is all pervading, He is also situated in eternal time. The living entities are described as parts and parcels of the Lord because He is the life and soul of all living entities, being situated within their hearts as an antaryami, the enunciated by the philosophy of inconceivable oneness and differences. Achintya Bheda Bheda. Since the living entities are part of God, they are one in quality with the Lord, yet they are different from Him, the Super Soul, who inspired all living entities to act, is one and changeless. There are varieties of subjects, objects, and activities, yet the Lord is one. Tvameva kalo nimisho jananam ayurlavadya vayavakshinashi kutastatma paramesya jamaham stvam jiva lokasya cha jiva atma. O my Lord, your Lordship is eternally awake, seeing everything that happens. As eternal time, you reduced the duration of life for all living entities through your different parts, such as moments, seconds, minutes, and hours. Nonetheless, you are unchanged, residing in one place as the Super Soul within the Supreme Lord, the birthless, all-pervading controller, who is the cause of all of life for all living entities. Om Magyana Timirandasya Gyananjana Shalakaya Chakshurun Militam Yena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha Shri Chaitanya Manobishtam Stapitam Yena Bhutale Swayam Rupa Kadamahyam Dadati Svapadantikam Vandeham Shri Guru Shri Yuta Padakamalam Shri Gurun Vaishnavamscha Shri Rupam Sagrajatam Sahagana Raghunathan Vitam Tam Sajivam Sadvaitam Savadhutam Parijana Sahitam Krishna Chaitanya Devam Shri Radha Krishna Padan Sahagana Lalita Shri Vishakhanvitamscha He Krishna Karuna Sindhu Dinabandhu Jagatpate Gopesha Gopika Kanta Radha Kanta Namostute Tapta Kanchana Gaurange Radhe Vrindavaneshwari Vrishabhanu Sutadevi Pranamami Hari Priye Vanchakalpatarubhyascha Kripa Sindhubhya eva cha Patitanam Pavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namo Namaha Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Shivasadi Gaura Bhakta Vrinda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare Nama Om Vishnu Padaya Krishna Prestaya Bhutale Shimate Bhaktivedanta Swamini Namine Namaste Saraswati Deve Gauravani Pracharine Nirshesha Shunyavadi Paschatya Deshatarine. Hare Krishna. Such a wonderful Saturday morning program. In Ukraine, we had this tradition, usually like Saturday's day for the preaching. So for Sunday program is day for the preaching, So on Sunday we came to preach the newcomers, but Saturday was like the day we preach for local devotees, So usually Saturday morning program was the most sweet, So all the senior devotees came usually, and we had some Krishna Katha and very nice long kirtan, just to inspire each other. So it's gonna be like internal and external preaching, So Saturday for me, like this tradition of internal preaching. I'm really happy to see all of you this morning, and I don't know. Actually, I feel confident, to speak something in such a wonderful society of devotees. But as sometimes children, they should pass exams. So that's my feeling right now. In front of all senior devotees, I'm sitting and trying to pass my exams of Krishna consciousness philosophy. So with the blessings, I will try to say a few words, and I hope you will correct me if I say something wrong. It's very beautiful, way to sing, to chant this verse. Actually, this traditional way of chanting our Gurvashtaka also, Samsaradava nalalidha loka tranaya karunya gana ganatvam praptasya kalyana gunarnavasya vande guru shri charana ravindam. So when you see the same quantity of syllables in verse, it's usually chanted the same way. I forgot actually how is it called? How is it called? This meter? Yeah, different meters. Yes, so because we have like shloka, usually Bhagavad Gita mostly is with shlokas, just 8 syllables, but this is a different one. Sanskrit is very beautiful language, and in every meter we can find a different title of this meter. So today we're reading from the prayers of Shriman Hiranyakashipu. It's an interesting point, because I think where is this started his prayers? Yeah, Shri Hiranyakashipu Vacha. So Bhagavatam, Bhagavatam says Shri Hiranyakashipu Vacha. That's not my words. It's words of Bhagavatam. And Shriman Hiranyakashipu, he glorified here in these prayers Lord Brahma, and he glorified him as the Supreme Personality of Godhead. We know this story. I've just to remind us this context of this verse. This Hiranyakashipu's brother, Hiranyaksha, he was killed by Lord Varahadev, and we read it in 3rd canto of Bhagavatam. And sometimes devotees people have problem. Once I know the story when once devotee he was sure that, you know, when he looks on this third canto of Bhagavatam, and there was like Varahadev who is fighting with Hiranyakashipu, and he thought, you know, obviously this, you know, this Varahadev, I mean, this, he's a demon, you know, and this person with the sword, he's like a good one. He's supposed to win, you know. So people cannot imagine, you know, that Varahadev can be the Supreme Personality of Godhead. So after this story, Hiranyakashipu, he tried to pacify his like relative wives of Varahadev and his nephews, and actually he preached very nice Atma Tattva, you know, like his prayers was very beautiful, and he started his austerities. He went for this mountain and started to perform this severe austerity. Actually, 100,000 years he was standing, you know, on the tip of his toes, and his body was eaten by ants and moths. And finally, when his austerity was mature, Lord Brahma came. Demigods come to Lord Brahma, and they started to pray for Lord Brahma. You know, this demon, he's going to take your post, so you should do something. Otherwise, you know, he will create some new rules in this universe. And so please come and do something. So Lord Brahma, he came, and he was very pleased with Hiranyakashipu, because Lord Brahma, he is very well known as a person who performed austerities. So when Lord Brahma was born, he was the first living entity. So this first verse of Srimad Bhagavatam 1:1, and Lord Brahma called there like Adikavaya. Shishi Kodanitai Purushashi Bhagavan ki jai. So Tene Brahma Hridaya Adikavaya. Yes, Lord Brahma was the first living entity in this universe, and he's like creator of this universe. I mean, first of all, the Lord himself, he created, you know, this universe, and then he came to each universe as the Lord Vishnu, and he lay on this Karana ocean, you know, and from his belly there is lotus flower, very big lotus flower, and in this lotus flower Lord Brahma is appearing. And so Lord Brahma, and he's alone, you know, he didn't know what to do. He didn't know what to do, and he just, you know, he wondered. He was trying to, he was looking for this essence of, you know, where I came from actually. And he started to go down this lotus flower, and it was impossible to investigate, you know, where is this, there's actually Karanam, you know, this cause of all causes. So, and he was trying to meditate, and then he heard this sound, this two-syllable, tapa, tapa. So that's the only instruction Lord Brahma get, you know, tapa. Sometimes we have like, you know, oh, my spiritual master, please give me some instructions, you know. And he already gave a lot of instruction in, you know, his lectures, in his Bhagavatam classes, on some personal darshans, you know. But will you please give us some instructions, some personal instruction, what should I do? At the same time, Lord Brahma, he just received only this tapa. What should you do? He received this. And he started to meditate. I mean, he started to perform this austerity. Tapasya. Tapa means tapasya. Tapasya means perform austerity. So he performed his austerity for a long time. He was completely alone, you know. And after this, he get little more verses like Chatur Shloka, you know, Chatur Shloka of Bhagavatam, the second canto of Bhagavatam. We can find this little more instructions. Aham Prabhasti Prabhu, you know. So, and all the Bhagavatam actually is just, you know, when this seed of Bhagavatam in this Chatur Shloka, So all the Bhagavatams grow, in this 80 cantos, 12 cantos of Bhagavatam are grown from this Chatur Shloka of Bhagavatam, and which were general instructions of Lord Vishnu to Lord Brahma. And so Lord Brahma, he was very pleased, when someone performed austerity, that's, oh yes, that's my, my disciple. And he was really pleased with Hiranyakashipu. And he, with his heart, ask me anything you would like, because you perform such severe austerity. And, but before this, Lord Brahma, he dropped this spiritual water, it says in Bhagavatam. He dropped the spiritual water from his Kamandalu, this pot, and he dropped this, sprinkling this water on these bones of Hiranyakashipu, because after 100,000 years of austerity, only bones were left, from Hiranyakashipu. And after sprinkling this water, his body were restored, and like enlightened, and became even more stronger, So, and Hiranyakashipu, when he saw Lord Brahma, he was so, finally, I performed such a severe austerity, and finally I can ask for this benediction. I would like to ask, when I started this austerity. That's the difference, between devotees and demons. Usually, devotees, like, where's the difference between Dhruva Maharaj and Hiranyakashipu? Dhruva Maharaj also, he was just a little child, like 4 or 5 years old child in the age of Kumara. So he was a little child, and he went to the forest, and he also, actually, he had this material desire. So both of them, Hiranyakashipu and Dhruva Maharaj, they had these material desires, So Dhruva Maharaj had the material desire, I would like to have a kingdom which is bigger than my father or even my grandfather, and his grandfather, by the way, Lord Brahma. So, what can be bigger than Lord Brahma's, the whole universe? And he had this desire, Dhruva Maharaj, but at the same time, by the mercy of his spiritual master Narada Muni, and his like Vartmana Pradakshika gurus, Suniti and Suruchi, it was wives of his father. So he performed this just to please the Lord. He had this desire. Okay, I have to please the Lord to get my, this big kingdom. But he understood that, okay, I do it to please the Lord, and he can give me this kingdom. So Hiranyakashipu, he hadn't this desire, to please the Lord. His desire was, okay, actually, the Lord is my enemy, and because he killed my brother, my great brother Hiranyaksha, he was such a great person, and Lord Vishnu, he killed him, so this is my enemy. So he performed this austerity actually to kill Lord Vishnu, to destroy everything what is dear to Lord Vishnu. I mean, to destroy this Brahmanical culture, to stop all this yagyas, and to stop Brahmins they chanting their mantras. He had another desire. So that's the difference. And Hiranyakashipu, he performed his austerity, and after that, yes, he asked for this benediction. But before to ask benediction, this is Vedic culture. Vedic culture, before you ask something, you have to glorify a person. So it's very beautiful culture, actually. Even demons follow this, Even Hiranyakashipu, he followed this culture. Obviously, you can say like Hiranyakashipu, he's actually, from gatekeeper of the heavenly planets of Vaikuntha, not heavenly planets, but spiritual world. He was his brother, Jaya and Vijaya. They came into this material world just by the curse of 4 Kumaras. But anyway, demons follow this culture. And so Hiranyakashipu, and he's glorifying the Lord Brahma as the Supreme Personality of Godhead. In this way, it looks like, he wanted to, it was some politic way of glorifying someone. You're so great, you're so powerful. Please give me something. Just to inspire a person. And because he thought that okay, I will glorify Lord Brahma. Maybe he's competent with Lord Vishnu, and I should glorify him as a Supreme Lord, just in case. Just in case. So it will please him more. So yeah, so he glorified in this prayer. He's glorifying, and actually it's a very beautiful prayers. I mean, if we have this understanding that actually this was related with Lord Vishnu, the Supreme Personality of Godhead, with Krishna, obviously, as mentioned here in the verse from Brahma Samhita. Advaita Machitam Anadimananta Rupam. So from the same Brahma Samhita we know that Ishvarach Parama Krishnach Sachitnanda Vigrahach Anadiradir Govindach Sarva Karana Karanam. So Krishna is the Supreme Lord. He is Sarva Karana Karanam. He is the cause of all causes. And so here we can find this understanding of who is God. And this is a very interesting question, because in any holy scripture we cannot find such a good description. Like Prabhupada always said, like maybe some people knew that God is great, but no one really knew how great he is. And so in these verses we can find this description of greatness of God. And it is also very important for us to understand these verses, because like this first nine cantos of Bhagavatam, they should help us to get this realization who is God. And for this, before we come for this 10th canto of Bhagavatam, for this Krishna pastimes, we need to have this very great understanding of our philosophy, who is God, how great he is. Because otherwise it will be difficult for us really to take shelter of God, to take his shelter. Because God is great. I mean, in Bhagavad Gita there is this beautiful verse, Sarvasya chaham hridisani vishto matah smritir gyanam apochanam cha. No, this one. Bhaktaram yagatapasam sarva lokamaheshvaram suhridam sarva bhutanam gyatmam shanti richati. So, like, Bhaktaram yagatapasam sarva lokamaheshvaram, this is like first two lines that describe how great he's God. Bhaktaram yagatapasam, I am the enjoyer of all these austerities, yagya and tapasa, austerities and sacrifices. So I am the enjoyer of all this austerities and sacrifices. And at the same time, Sarva Loka Maheshwaram, I am like Ishvara, I am the ruler of all these universes, not only one universe, but the whole universes. And at the same time, so I'm so great, but at the same time, Suhridam Sarva Bhutanam, I'm Suhrid. Suhrid, like in translation, like very close friend, really close, like Suhrid, like Hridaya. Hridaya means heart. So like your heart friend, the most close friend you can even find in this universe, So he's Suhridam Sarvabhutanam. And if you just if you can understand this too, just he's the great, and at the same time he's the very best friend. So only he can fulfill all your desires. So that is why the way you can actually to take his shelter, Otherwise, it's very difficult to trust in God, If you just he's Krishna, he's a cowboy, he's running on the Vrindavan fields, but really, can he help me with all my problems? Yes, he can. He can do it, and so that's the only way to fulfill our material desire. Akama sarva kama va moksha kama daradhi tivrena bhakti yogena yajata purushah param. This is the verse from the second canto of Bhagavatam, which describes how we should, if we have any desire, so we have no, we should serve the Lord. Tivrena bhakti yogena. Tivrena means it should be, how to say it, like, who can help me translate in English the word tivrena? Yes, like in a very strong way. Yeah, so sometimes, this verse, it doesn't work, this akama starva kama va. This verse just doesn't work because I am following the process. I mean, I'm chanting sometimes 16 rounds. I'm following 3 principles, regulative principles. So I even on Sunday program, I time to time I visit in temple, so why Krishna didn't fulfill my desires? Because it's supposed to be, this verse is supposed to be tivrena. Tivrena means it should be like real intense devotional service, really intense devotional service. In that way, yes, he will fulfill desires. He can do it. Okay. So in this verse, we can find this description of Lord's some different mighty, his energies. Like, first of all, as eternal time, you reduce the duration of life for all living entities through different parts, such as moments, seconds, minutes, and hours. It reminds me also the 3rd canto of Bhagavatam, where we can find this wonderful description, when universe was created, and it's like the description of different time, like from the minimum, from this lava, nimesha, like this time you need to blink your eyes, like minimum particle of time. This Vedic system of time, how we can count the time. It is not about like seconds and hours. It's all about like this nimesh, lava, nimesha. I forgot all. Yeah, so it's a very beautiful system, and it's quite long. It's quite long description, how this different time, how you can count the time, and finally, from this minimum to this maximum, which is like Lord Brahma's entire life, and he lived like 100 years, and each day of Lord Brahma is 430,000, yes, million years. So it's quite a long time, and at the same time, his night is going on, and so all this Lord Brahma's, 100, and it's one day, and Lord Brahma, he lives like for 100 years. It's impossible to count how many years this universe, just exist. At the same time, all this existence of the whole universe is only like this minimum particle of time, which is like lava, this blinking of eyes for Lord Vishnu, for Lord Mahavishnu, who when he breathes, he took breath, all the universe came back to his body, and when they just created. So just one his breath, all the time they existed. How great God is, how great is God. I remember once it was, I believe it was with Tamal Krishna Maharaj, maybe some other disciple, Shurapada, just he told him like, can you imagine how big is this universe? How many of the universe in this, in this material creation? This material creation was only a little part of the spiritual reality, and in this material creation there are a lot of encountered, universes, and in these universes there are encountered planets, and like 14 planetary system, and a lot of planets, and a lot of living entities living on all these planets, and in this planet, through all these planets, there's one really small planet which is called like Earth planet, and on this Earth planet, there's a lot of big countries, and maybe there are only, and one of these countries like USA, and this big country USA, there is very small city, I believe it was New York or LA, I don't know, I forgot actually which city it was, and in this LA, a lot of huge buildings and millions of people live here, and at the same time, in this, only one person, sits in this building, and he says he's great, he's so great. And that's the point, is how Shurapada teach his disciples. So this is Bhagavatam. Bhagavatam gives us this realization of, how great is God, so we can take shelter of Him. And this verse is particularly describing this greatness of God by describing His potency of, like, His rule of the time. Also, in 5th canto of Bhagavatam, I remember there's a wonderful explanation. When 5th canto of Bhagavatam describes this heavenly planets, and hellish planets, and actually these Danavas, demons, on these hellish planets, they enjoy life even more than the demigods on heavenly planets, because there is no sun on these hellish planets. It's like the best place to enjoy, because when there is sun, you can see like sun can rise and down, and if you're a rich person, you can understand that, okay, every day just bring me closer to my death, when I lose everything. So the demigods on the heavenly planets, they have this, sunrise and sundown, sunset, and at the same time, so they're like, and actually this like, it's very difficult to enjoy when you understand this really, for a short period of time. You can enjoy only for some period of time, and then you have to lose everything. But in this hellish heavenly planets, these living entities, they are enjoying, and there is no sun. So they have no this fear, that everything will end very soon. So they're enjoying so much. And then there's the description. Then the Lord, as Sudarshan Chakra, which also a time, He just came and cut their heads. That's it. That's how this part of universe is destroyed. So yes, time. Even if we think I'm so great, I'm the ruler of this, city, country, even this planet. Anyway, it's just temporary position. Because Lord, as the time, He came for this, for demons. Lord came as a time. I think I would like to at least pause here and ask you to correct me. Maybe I said something wrong. Maybe you can correct me, or maybe there are some comments you would like to add for our discussion.
Yeah, I was just wondering, you're saying how the living entities are in the... Well, Hiranyakashipu had fallen into the trap of mistaking Lord Brahma as being the supreme person. So it just seems unusual that he was a demon, but he had the idea that there was a supreme controller, but he was still considered a demon because it was the wrong person that he had as the supreme controller. So it just seems interesting that somebody could be well-intentioned, but if they get the wrong person, they could still be a demon.
So, Prabhupada, would we like to comment on this?
The question was, it seems unfair that somebody can work so hard as Hiranyakashipu and do a tremendous amount of austerity, and just because he gets the wrong person, then he has to be a demon. But if he'd done it for Krishna, then he would have been a pure devotee.
Well, his motivation was wrong in the first place, and that's why he got the material benediction. That's what he was looking for. He was looking to be deathless in the material world. He wasn't looking for devotion to Krishna. If he was looking for Krishna, he would have found Krishna.
I can also say a few words on this. Like, I think we discussed it last time when I gave class. Like this verse, Anyabilash Tashunyam Gana Karmajana Vritam Anukuliyana Krishna Anushilana Bhakti Ruttama. So in this, if we perform bhakti, I mean, the main point is motivation. This anukulyena Krishna anushilanam. So this anukula, the desire to please the Lord. So I gave this example before. You can cut apples. You can, so with the desire to please the Lord, or with the desire to take some material benediction from Him. So if you perform this with this motivation to please the Lord, and you follow the instruction of Guru Parampara, Krishna Anushilanam, so just okay, I would like to please the Lord, so I will cut, some people's hands, I don't know, no. We have this, Krishna Anushilanam, our spiritual master, he told us that Krishna accepts Patram Pushpam Phalam Toyam Yama Bhaktya Prayashati. So he accepts leaf, fruit, water, so something Krishna will not accept this. So we follow this instruction of Guru Parampara, and at the same time we have this desire to please the Lord, just to please Him. And that is bhakti, and that is the way to serve the Lord. At the same time, this if we have no desire, it is not like bhakti. It doesn't lead us to devotional service, It can be seva, maybe, probably, yes, it can be seva, but not, devotional seva. Yes, and from seva you can get only some material benediction, or you can get some punya. Maybe you can get some punya, yes. Dhruva's motivation was to please the Lord. Narada Muni instructed him, you should perform this type of austerity, and he described you should go to the forest for this Mahavan, I believe it was Mahavan forest, yes, in Vrindavan, in holy place, you should perform this type of austerity. But the main instruction was you should please the Lord. And Dhruva Maharaj, he had this desire to please the Lord, that was his motivation. Hiranyakashipu's motivation was to please Lord Brahma, not Lord Vishnu, but not just please him, but actually he had the desire of material, to become immortal. Yes, so that's the difference,
Hiranyakashipu had the desire to please Krishna instead of Lord Brahma. Would that have purified him of his demoniac mentality?
Yes, as it happens also in third canto of Bhagavatam, I believe. Maybe you remember the story of Kashyapa Muni and his wife Asutya Devahuti. So Devahuti was the wife of Kardama Muni. Kardama Muni, it's like a great family. But Kashyapa Muni, his wife, actually, Diti, yes, Diti. Who actually mother of Hiranyakashipu, and so because of and just because Lord Vishnu he killed Hiranyakashipu, he was so upset, and she started to perform her severe austerity just to, she thought she had this idea to kill Indradev as a top manager of demigods, because she had this understanding, okay, this is all about Indra. Because of him, my children was killed, So, and he started to perform, but Kashyapa Muni, he engaged her in devotional activities. I forgot how this process calls, maybe this particular name of this process from the third canto of Bhagavatam. Anyway, just he described her, this activity, what should she do? So she started his devotional service, her service just to kill Indra, actually servant of God, his demigod, and so her motivation wasn't like very good, but at the same time she do it to please, and this process purified her, completely purified her heart. So after finishing this process, she was specified, yes, because bhakti process like Chetadarpana Marjanam, Bhavamahadavagnivapanam. So this cleaning of our heart is going on. And also I think we started this first, Shri Krishna is the Supreme Personality of Godhead. Nashta Presha Padrshu Nitya Bhagavata Sevaya Bhagavati Uttamashloke Bhaktir Bhavati Nashtiki. So by following this devotional process, all this dirt in our heart is just cleans, And actually, Shri Krishna himself, he cleaned this dirt in our heart. When we hear this eager to listen to his pastimes, it's not about we can clean our heart. Only Krishna can do it. And he came to our, he comes to our heart and start to clean it when we regularly, like by Srila Prabhupada quotes, like every day, we come to the temple and we discuss Bhagavatam. Grantaraj Srimad Bhagavatam ki Srila Prabhupada Pachita Pavana ki Nitai Gaura Premanande Radha Koti Vaishnava Vrinda ki